not gonna bother scripting this just because I don't feel like doing extra work. Plus, I feel like it would just sound better if I just did this straight from my mind. But yeah, that's kind of why I'm not gonna bother scripting this video. Plus, it just sounds better if I just say it straight out instead of actually trying to, instead of me having to write down a bunch of things and then it sounds a bit more. What's the word? It just doesn't sound like it's coming straight from my mind or whatever. So it's kind of why I'm not bothering to script this. Plus, that's the whole thing with commentary. Sometimes it just happens. Like, it's just something that comes to your mind in the moment. And it's not really scripted. It just feels better to not do scripted commentary for this type of thing. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these anyway. I was trying to get around to doing it, but it just never happened. I mean, I did record it a couple times, but I just never bothered. I just didn't get the motivation to edit it or do anything big with it. But here I am now, hopefully getting this out and just not leaving it in my storage or folders, just to do nothing. But okay, so I think there's a lot to talk about because it's been like years since I've done one of these, so that's cool. But so let's talk about the big thing. Where have I been? Just dealing with life, pretty much. Nothing big or anything. It's just me doing stuff IRL instead of just playing games all the time and not really doing anything productive. But the last year it has been really busy for me. From things like me getting a job to moving to school again, and yes, you heard that right, again, and to school becoming extremely busy for me. And then I just have me getting a ton of other responsibilities and other things I'm doing outside of Minecraft and just games in general. But yeah, so let's talk about it. So starting off with number one, school. So school has actually begun to get really busy for me. I mean, really busy. It started to occupy a lot of my time because I'm doing a lot of studying. So to put this into perspective for you, in junior year, I only had one honors class and the rest of it was CP. So pretty much, I just was not getting challenged. I had more than enough free time to do whatever I wanted. But I made a massive difficulty spike this year, and now I am doing 2 AP classes, 4 honors classes, and 2 CP classes. And for those who don't know what it is, they're essentially just harder classes that give you more of a boost to your GPA. And yeah, and I just got hacky-sated. Cool. Right, yep. Oh my gosh, still getting hacky-sated, and I kind of feel a little bit washed. But, yeah, so essentially I just have a lot harder classes, and I don't really have much free time because I have to spend a lot of my time studying and trying to actually pass my classes. And what makes it worse this year is, considering how the schedule is formatted, I actually don't have a lunch because you have to. So pretty much putting this in perspective for you, the max you can have is 8 mods or classes, and essentially you need to remove a mod if you want to have a lunch or a study. And in this case, I did actually initially remove it, but the way my classes were set up, it made it so I actually don't have a lunch mod. So basically, I have to eat my lunch in class, which wasn't a big deal, because I mean, I can eat lunch nonetheless, so I really don't much care. But it was still a bit of a setback, and yeah, it wasn't great. But I mean, at the beginning of the year, I did have a study, so I had a time of day where I could just chill and relax. But then what happened was, in the middle of the year, or not middle of the year, but what's it, end of September. Yeah, end of September. So pretty much what happened was, I want to get into computer engineering when I go to college, and I want to study that a bit more because, I'm into technology, I'm into computers and everything, and basically I just want to do more with it. But you know what computer engineering requires? It requires pre-calculus, and I'm not sure if it requires physics, but I know it definitely has something to do with it. So physics was but I already had physics covered at the beginning of the year because I was already taking that class, so there's that. So that was already covered. But then there was another thing that what's it? I don't know if I said this already, but it pretty much, well, one thing you need for computer engineering is you need pre-calculus. And I actually didn't know this at the time, or I initially didn't choose pre-calculus because when I was doing course selection during my junior year, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just chose a bunch of classes, and I was initially offered an honors class for stats, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And that was one thing that sealed the deal with me taking stats. But then what happened was it got revealed to me that you need pre-calculus if you want to get into engineering. And as a result, I had to join it late in the year, and yeah, needless to say, I had to get rid of a study for that, and my only study by the way. And it essentially meant I had no breaks during the day if I decided to take pre-calculus and not drop stats. And I didn't want to drop stats because it was an honors class, and the problem is that if I dropped an honors class but replaced it with a CP class, I'd look terrible to colleges because they'd be like, wow, look at this guy, he dropped an honors class for a CP class. He doesn't want to challenge himself. And then it would just look bad on me, so that's why I just didn't want to do it. And as a result, I am course overloading, and I don't have much free time. I don't have any free time at all during the school day. Unless the class decides to do a study and the teacher decides to do nothing, but other than that, there really isn't anything else, and I'm kind of just limited on options here. But however, I am trying to balance it out as much as possible, but it's really hard because there's a lot going on. Well, the one benefit that I can think of is that if I do manage to get through this year, and which I will obviously, but if I manage to get consistent grades and everything, I'm thinking of maintaining high honors, which is pretty much straight B's and straight A's. If I get that, at least, then I can get a pretty big boost in my GPA, and that'll look really good for me, so I can increase my options for colleges I can get into, because some of the colleges I'm applying to are pretty high level, so yeah. It's a couple of smaller ones, obviously, but yeah. But yeah, it's basically a busy school year for me. And then another thing. So over at the beginning of summer, I actually got a job. So now I'm working in grocery, and needless to say, hold on, sorry, here. Can I not get crit out while this happens? Cool. Yeah, I don't know why they added a board into this map. But yeah, so I got a job at the beginning of summer, and it's a really easy job. It's an easy job. But the problem is, yeah, obviously it's time consuming, and well, not too time consuming because I only do it on weekends, like 5 hours on Saturdays, Sundays, whatever it is. But yeah. However, I still have to get some hours in just so I can make some money. But I've made plenty of money right now, so I think I'm all set in that department. But obviously, it does take up time, and it's just, well, that's really it. It just takes up time, but it's pretty easy. It's nothing bad, and yeah, I'm not really too concerned about that. I'm dead. Right? Yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, it doesn't take up too much of my time. It pretty much just, it's just sort of, well, I don't have much to say about that. It's actually a pretty easy job. I'm just either loading items on the shelves or I'm just pulling items to the front of it, but there really isn't much to say in regards to that. However, yeah, the only thing is that it just takes up some study time, which I do need, but I can manage it. I'm totally fine with it. However, yeah. So I think we're good. I don't know much else to say about that, so I'll leave it at that. But what else? So I've actually been getting into weightlifting a lot lately, or just, yeah, pretty much. I've just been getting into weightlifting a lot and doing a lot of physical activities, because I started doing that at the like no, I started doing that in November or October last year, and I was like, okay, I got to be consistent with this, because problem is that I would do it for like a week or two, and then I'd immediately get bored of it, and I'd be like, nope, done. But like now I was like, okay, I need to stay consistent with this because I could actually start seeing results, which could motivate me. And surely enough, I stayed consistent with it, and I got results. And nowadays, the results are really noticeable because I'm getting a lot of comments on it, and from people around me, and it's a good feeling, you know, like your hard work's paying off, and it's okay. It's just a really nice thing. So yeah. Sorry, I'm being double teamed here. But pretty much it's just a nice feeling because you're getting compliments from people around you, and people are starting to notice it now, and it just really makes me proud of my work, and I'm glad and it just makes me want to keep doing it, and that's the benefit of it as well. Like, you know, I've been doing it for over a year now, I'm pretty sure, and I don't have any intent on stopping. And it's gotten to the point where anytime I don't work out, I feel bad because I feel bad just because I feel like I'm not being productive, which is sort of a good and a bad thing. Because I mean, it's okay to take some days off. Like, for example, yesterday I took off just kind of counter the fact that it's Thanksgiving, so I was like, you know what, I should. It's a day to just eat, pig out, and just, you know, relax. So I decided to take it. So I decided to take yesterday off in terms of working out, and I do it. And the goal is to get it in, like, get workouts in like 6 times a week and take a break on Sundays. But yeah, and it is also a bit time consuming, and it does take up some time for studying and all. But at the same time, I just don't want to give up weightlifting. I don't want to give up weightlifting because it ultimately just boosted my confidence, it made me happier, and it just becomes a lot more fun the more you do it, and the more compliments you get from it, and the more progress you make. It's just when you start seeing results and everything, it's really motivating. So yeah. That's why I highly recommend it for anyone. Like, don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately, because they will come eventually. Absolutely. It's just sometimes it might take a bit longer than usual, or sometimes you need to start pushing yourself a bit more instead of just taking it easy, and you need to start pushing yourself and just seeing what your limits are. And as a result, you'll start seeing results. But yeah. So that's kind of why I really enjoy doing it, and I don't have any intent of giving it up anytime soon. It is a bit time consuming because I do it like 2 hours a day. I almost killed myself there. It's like it takes up like 2 hours a day, but you know, I am able to get a really good workout, and so it's still really good for it's. Sorry, I lost the ability to speak because I almost fell off. But basically, it's just really it's just a lot of fun. It's good for you, and results will come eventually. I mean, sometimes you can't. Sometimes there are just days where you just can't work out, and that's totally fine. Right, but yeah, all right. So that, yeah, I can't really think of much else to say for that. So let's talk about something more QCraft related. So. QCraft has had a couple of updates since I've been gone, so, oh, jeez, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, pause. Yo, I can actually get some sick enchants here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, speaking of QCraft updates, I am loving the enchant system now, because I can just get the most ridiculously powerful things, like a sharp 5 fire aspect 2 netherite, and it's just, this shit's comedy gold. And it's just amazing because you're just so tanky and you can do so much, and you still take quite a bit of damage, to be fair. But however, it's still really good nonetheless. But yeah, so there's that, and also I saw the Egg Wars update. Apparently, the update was controversial and it sparked a lot of people to leave the Egg Wars community. And after playing it, I can say I'm kind of mixed on it. It's not bad, it's just weird. And while I can't say that it's really good or anything, because it really isn't. I don't believe it's that good, but it's not horrendous, and I can definitely see why people would say, "Oh, the original was better." But I mean, I don't know. The original just felt better. It just maybe it's when you build up something for a while and you're just like you don't want it to change, or maybe you're okay with change, but you just don't want any drastic change, which that's also fine. But I feel like with playing Egg Wars, I've never really been a fan of Egg Wars. I mean, I don't mind playing it every once in a while, but it's never really been something I've cared much about. So I'm the wrong guy to get a full opinion on it, but I'd ask for his opinion on it. You could probably ask for the Egg Wars leaderboard players' opinions, who they actually play the game, they actually do shit. So, you know, to say they're probably more. You can probably take their opinions a bit more because they actually play the game, and you're better off hearing their opinions or over mine because I'm a Skywars player, obviously not really an Egg Wars player. But I mean, in my opinion, the update's not that bad. It's just meh. And I feel like it's a bit of a downgrade, but if I was a consistent player and everything over the game, if I played, probably I don't think I played it enough, but if I played it a lot and I noticed that it was just bad, then I'd probably quit. But as of right now, I can say I probably wouldn't quit the game if I was an Egg Wars player and I saw that update, because it's not horrendous, it's just not good either. But there's that, and then like I mentioned, I love the whole enchanting system and netherite things, and there are some items which I feel like they're just unnecessary to add to Skywars, because it just sometimes feels like item bloat. Like, they initially added fishing rods, which they removed it now, but I'm glad they did, because it was just a bad idea, because they didn't function properly, and it was just there. It was just a complete waste. I mean, you could reel things in with it. I think the last time I recall, you could reel things in with it, but it was still just bad. It wasn't that great, and yeah. But I'm glad they removed it, because it was just a complete waste. And basically, what else I gotta say? So what else? The cobwebs are kind of annoying, because, I mean, sometimes you can get caught in them, and unless you got a water bucket, you're screwed. I mean, you can still break it open with your sword, but it can be sometimes pretty annoying, and yeah, I'm not really a big fan of them, but, I mean, I guess it's another obstacle or something to overcome, but I don't hate it entirely. I just feel like it's a bit. And the crossbows as well, I feel a bit unnecessary, because the problem with the crossbows is that they're just, I mean, they're a lot less efficient than bows, because crossbows, you have to like charge it up, and then, I mean, you could use it as an additional snowball, like a slightly more damaging snowball or egg. You could use that to pull some nice little combos on someone, but problem is that, again, you have to line the thing up, and it could potentially be a little time consuming, but it's not, man, once again, it's not that bad, but they just feel a little unnecessary, and like they don't need to be here. But hey, that's just me. And well, I don't know what to say about it. But I mean, the item bloat's not too bad. It's pretty, and I mean, some of the items you just don't have to use them. Simple as that. But one thing I'm always gonna love that they added was the enchants and the netherite. I said that like 5 times already, but I'll say it 5 times more because I love it. But pretty much, yeah, I love the addition to it. And I mean, the tridents are also another thing as well. The tridents are also pretty useless, because the problem with the tridents is that if you throw it into the void, it's gone. Like, simple as that. If you throw it into the void, it's gone. You ain't getting it back. And it just that's why I just don't bother with using it if I ever find one. I'm just gonna be like, nope, not using it. Nope. It feels good. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna throw it into the void, and I'm gonna wind up losing it. It's gonna be annoying. I just love how they say that as I grab a trident. Let me put that back. That's disgusting. And also, I don't. How much damage do you do actually? 1.5. Okay, it actually does a decent amount, but. So I also remember when tridents were ridiculously overpowered. I think I played this update when it initially came out. Tridents were like ridiculously overpowered. If they still kind of have like a bit of a damage buff though, then I'll probably start using them. But for now, I just don't really see a point in them. So as of this moment, I'm kind of just like, okay, they're just there. But again, the whole thing is that if they fall into the void, then they're just gone, which is not very practical. So there's that. But I mean, are there any other items that I'm missing? Oh yeah, the featured items. Featured items. Only some of them really have any worth. I mean, the knockback sword, that's kind of fun to use, but I never find it, so yeah, there's really that. And then the Elytra, congratulations, you can glide to some islands with it. What's gonna happen when you miss the island? You fall into the void. You're just gonna be, you're gonna have to dive straight down because there's no hope in you. There's no hope for you. Here, you know, I'll let these guys stay here so I can keep the commentary going. But I mean, overall, pretty solid, and also the KB is definitely improved a bit. But I mean, obviously, it still needs a little bit of work, and the server sometimes is a little bit laggy. But nothing's perfect, and I feel like the benefits outweigh the downside. But personally, but once again, my personal opinion, and everyone's inclined to their own. Inclined? Is that what the term is? I don't know. And all right, now moving on to the next topic. So, what next? Like, what am I doing around here? So, I'm not gonna hop on too frequently because I mean I know I have priorities, and the weekdays I'm gonna be ridiculously busy. So, don't count on that. I mean, unless I have a day off or I flat out just have nothing going on a certain day, then I can make some time for hopping on. But for the most part, I'm going to be busy during the weekdays, so during the weekdays, nothing's going to happen on my end, so yeah. But I mean, I'll do what I can when I can, but for now, it's just going to be sporadic. Sporadic, is that the word? Or like just all over the place? Is that? You know what? Whatever. All over the place. I'm gonna say it's gonna be all over the place, and it's just gonna happen, and just entirely at random times. But I mean, they will happen. Stuff will happen nonetheless. But I mean, right now it's happening just because I'm on Thanksgiving break, so I have free time to actually be playing right now. So that's cool. But it's just gonna happen all over the place and happen at random times, so there really isn't any, oh yeah, there's no consistent thing like usual, so nothing's really gonna change into like how it was back then. It's just gonna happen at random times at just whenever, but yeah. So, what else? Another thing I also want to say is that for those who celebrate it, hope you all had a nice Thanksgiving, because, I mean, mine wasn't anything too big or special, but you know what? It was just what it needed to be. Nice and simple, and just a day of giving thanks and being grateful for the things you have. And for those who don't celebrate, I hope you had a great day nonetheless, but, yeah. And yeah, I hope you, and let me know what you guys think of this, like whether this is actually, like whether how I'm doing this right now, it actually, hold on, I can't put words together. Let me finish this game real quick. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let me know what you think of this kind of, a commentary is, like whether you think it's good, organized, or if you prefer scripted, but well, I'm just gonna do this for now, just because it's a bit easier, and also I just like how it feels a bit more. It just feels like it's a bit more coming straight from your mind instead of you're scripting it, and it just all comes out beautifully and everything. And I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of that, but I mean, I'll do that I'll do that sometimes. I'll script things sometimes, but other than that, I'm just gonna say things straight from my mind. Anyways, I'll probably do this more, but For now, I think that's gonna be it, and I will see you all later. Have a good day.